once the gut's sensitive, we may come in there with more enzymes. Be careful with the acid. You can definitely do more acid. Just be careful because if your gut's inflamed, you may not do well with it. So be careful with adding in hydrochloric acid, but definitely lean on enzymes. Look at how your stool looks. What foods in your stool are you noticing are undigested? Is it floating? If it's floating or clay or blonde color, that may tell me fat issues. So I may add in more bile. Is there certain food chunks that aren't being broken down? I may cut those foods out, or I may try chewing them better. But the easiest thing out of the gate, maybe just cut them out, see how you do. May dial in my enzymes, dial in my acids. I may do soups and stews to really help kind of stabilize the gut, really get everything dialed in. Now, if I start to add in some bug killers, I may add in a little bit of bismuth. In my GI Clear 2, we have bismuth, or I may add in bismuth salts by themselves. Bismuth can be nice because it prevents some of the excess diarrhea. Now, diarrhea is good because it's getting a toxin out, but the problem is now we're not going to absorb nutrients and potentially have electrolyte imbalances. So if I can mitigate the diarrhea with a binder, because now we're binding out the toxin, maybe add a little bismuth, which coats the intestinal tract and prevents whatever toxins in there from binding to the mucosa. I may add in bismuth salts. Usually they come in 261 milligram capsules, like in Kaopectate, or like there's a couple other brands that are out there that have it. I have some bismuth in my GI Clear 2. We'll take 1 to 2 of those capsules 3 times a day, or with the herbals, right? With a high dose berberine, with a high dose golden seal. I love golden seal. I love olive leaf. I love neem. My GI Clear 4 is my favorite. When I've gotten parasites in Mexico, I bring a lot of herbs, and that one has just been kind of my fail-safe that has knocked out the nausea, solidified the stool. I had a big acute diarrheal episode back over the summer in Mexico, and I knocked it out in a day or two. I stabilized it in the first 24 hours. Within 2 days, that was pretty good. But I did the GI Clear 4, I did high-dose probiotics, and I did my GI bind, and that really stabilized things. That made a big, big difference. I would do a little bit of what was helpful for me too was a little bit of pineapple. Fresh pineapple at each meal was good. That could be better more for constipation, but I did like it because I felt like the enzymes help with digestion on that front. So a little bit of fresh pineapple was nice. And then so we'll do bismuth, and we'll combine the bismuth salt either in GI Clear 2 or just bismuth by itself with a good killer. And so we have the binder in there for acute diarrhea. We have the probiotics. So maybe it's the ProbioFlora or like a high dose lactobacillus bifidobacter, like a high dose, 20, 25 billion a capsule. We're adding in the binder, right? The activated charcoal, the zeolite, the bentonite clay, or the chlorella. We're adding in enzymes. We're adding in probiotics. We're adding in bismuth salts as well to really work on the gut. Now, we can also do things to calm the gut down. If the gut feels really raw and sensitive, we may add in some healing, soothing amino acids like GI Restore, or if you're looking at the main ingredients, that's going to be glutamine, N-acetyl D-glucosamine, DGL licorice, aloe, slippery elm. We're going to do things like okra or vitamin U. We may add in ginger tea with manuka honey and some fresh lime or lemon, half or quarter of a lime or lemon squeezed in. Just things to calm down the gut lining can be very helpful. And you may even want to, if you don't feel great, you may even want to do a little bit of a fast too. Just calm down the gut, ginger tea, some bone broth, just really make things very easy. Listen to how you feel. Your gut may feel okay, but it's exploding out of you, but you may feel also raw inside too. So the more raw you feel, the more you want to lean to fasting and something more liquid and gentle. If you don't feel too raw, then I would lean more to binders, probiotics, and antimicrobials. GI Clear 4 being one, the neem, the golden seal, the berberines, the olive leaf. Those work wonderful. If we're worried about parasites, we're going to have artemisia in there, wormwood in there as well to help as well. And so when we look at these chronic bugs, or so the acute stuff, we're looking at E. coli, salmonella, we're looking at parasites. These are all going to be big things that we look at out of the gates. Now, if it's chronic stuff, this is where we're definitely going to want to do some stool testing. If we have bugs or other pathogens, we may add in different things like oil of oregano. We may add in podiarco, olive leaf. We may add in stomona and dill and Java brucea, Hadiotis and Comptus. I got my GI Clear 1 through 6 line. Those are kind of the big ones that I use. 1's more bacteria, 2's more H. pylori, 6 is I'll use more for H. pylori. I'm sorry, more for fungus and for bacteria. There's got podiarco in there and some olive leaf and tinea and it's got French tarragon in there. Really good stuff. And then the 5 is an emulsified oil of oregano, great for yeast, great for bacteria. 4 is my big bug killer with the neem and the golden seal and the burdock root and the olive leaf. And then 3 is my silver, which works great for biofilms and any oral thrush, and can also be good for just generalized adding to the protocol to help with biofilms. So there's some good options out of the gate.